Welcome back to week 2, day 2 of the Strive to Thrive program. Today you do need a mini band, so I would make sure you have your mini band close to you. My recommendation is you keep it close to your chair because we'll do our seated warm-up and then we'll get going with some seated exercises that are going to involve some movement, some core strength, some coordination, a little bit of all that, and that's when we will actually be using those bands. So let's get it started, and we're going to start out sitting in our chair for the warm-up. So to start, I want you, as always, we're going to practice sitting up nice and tall. We've got good posture. Your chest is out, your shoulders are down and back. You're sitting up nice and tall in that chair towards the front of the chair. And we're going to start out just with our marching. Keeping those feet gentle on the floor. You're not slamming them down or anything like that. But we're just starting to get our muscles warm, get moving, and get the blood flowing. Then from here, we're going to take it into our toe taps forward. So just alternating which foot is forward. And then when you're ready, add in that chest press. Still sitting up nice and tall. Doesn't have to be fast. Go at your pace that's comfortable. Keep tapping out again. Just soft taps. Now from here, taking it into our heel taps. Same idea. This time adding in our arm curls. Still keeping that good posture. Awesome job. Next up, you need to make sure you have some room to move your feet out wide. We're going into our 4 count wide marching. So just as a reminder, right foot is leading. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and in 2, 3, 4. I'll let you know when we're switching and leading with the left foot. So get that good posture, and let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in 2, 3, 4. Okay, awesome job with that one. Now let's take it to the left. Same thing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome job. You can relax those legs. Let's take it to the upper body now with some arm circles. So bring those arms out to the side as you're sitting up nice and tall. And you're going to start with some small forward arm circles. Just a reminder, if you have any shoulder issues, you can always bring those arms a little bit lower as well. Start to get a little bigger. Take it into some big forward arm circles. Okay, now let's switch directions. Start small. Get a little bigger, and some big reverse arm circles. Okay, and relax. Now we're going to open up the arms nice and big and give yourself a hug. Open up and switch the arms. Just keep working through that motion, trying to arch your back as you give yourself a hug to stretch the chest and the upper back. And relax. Okay, last thing we're going to do for part of our warm-up is just some reverse shoulder rolls. So just bring those shoulders back, nice and slow, big circles. And relax. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Hopefully you're starting to feel warmed up, you're feeling good. Now we're going to take it into some of our seated exercises before we go into our standing exercises. The first thing we're going to do is just work on some trunk movements again. This is going to activate that core. So I want you to sit up nice and tall. You're going to bring your hands out like you're holding something, or again, you can grab something if you want to hold on to it, but you don't have to. And you're going to turn slightly to the right. We're going to lean forward to the right and then lean back towards the right, or sorry, to the left, making sure that you're not actually leaning back against the chair. This is all about strengthening the core and being in control, so we don't want to cheat and lean back on that chair. We're going to go to both sides, but let's start to the right. So lean slightly to the right and begin. Just slightly lean forward and then lean back. Feeling where your weight's shifting as you're going through the motions. Slow and controlled here. If your arms get tired, feel free to bring the arms down and still just work through the motion, just without the arms out straight. It's just a little added bonus shoulder strengthening here too. Good, and relax. Now let's take it to the other side. So arms out, shoulders down, turn to the left, and let's lean forward to the left and back to the right. Slow and controlled. Keep those shoulders down. Make sure also that you're kind of just looking right above where your hands are. You're not looking down or up, straight ahead above your hands. Little longer here. And stop. Okay, awesome job with that one. We're going to do one more on each side. This time we're not going to include the hands, so you can just kind of have your hands relaxed on your lap, but we're doing the same movement. Okay, so again, just aware of where your body is at in space. That's called proprioception. It's just good to be aware of where our body's moving. Turns out it's kind of important as we're walking around, doing anything in our daily lives. So sit up nice and tall. You're just going to lean to the right and lean back to the left. This time I challenge you to maybe lean a little bit further for each of these because we don't have our arms in, so you don't have to worry about your shoulders being tired. Let's give it a try. So lean forward to the right, lean back to the left. I just want you to have your hands resting on your legs. I don't want you actually leaning on your legs as you lean forward and pushing yourself back. I want all of that coming from your core. Your hands are just hanging out here. Lean forward, slowly lean back. Feel the weight shift amongst your feet as well as in the chair. Don't forget to breathe. And stop. Okay, same thing to the other side. So just turn your body slightly, leaning forward to the left and back to the right. Here we go. Try to keep those feet planted on the floor. Don't let the foot come up as you lean back. Again, you're remembering to breathe, not holding your breath during this. And bring it back to center. Okay, awesome job. Hopefully you felt that working those core muscles. You just kind of feel the difference of your body moving. It's always nice to be able to practice movements while we're seated, and then we can translate that to standing and then moving around, walking, doing everything like that in our daily lives. This time, this next move is actually going to work kind of on your trunk movement still, but this time we're just rotating. So this is a good thing for when we're just out and about. If someone's walking behind you and they say your name and you need to turn, it's good to have that mobility in your trunk to be able to turn and see them and have good balance while doing that. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to cross your hands across your chest. You're sitting up tall. You're going to have both feet planted about hip width apart. All you're doing is you're just going to rotate to one side and then slowly rotate to the other side. Just holding it briefly and rotating back and forth like you're trying to look over your shoulder, but you're not turning your neck. Your motion's actually coming from your trunk. So let's give it a try. Turn to one side and then turn to the other side. So as you turn towards the right, you'll probably notice the weight shift more in your left leg. And then as you turn to the left, you're probably pushing a little bit more with the right. Your eyes are just following where your head goes, looking straight to keep a good neutral spine in your neck. Get a good feel for how you feel here. Do you feel stable? Does this feel comfortable for you? Bring it back to center. Okay, in case you didn't notice, our vision plays a part in balance. So now we're actually going to take the vision out of the exercise by doing the exact same thing we just did, only with our eyes closed. So you're not changing anything. You're still keeping your head position the same. The movement comes from your trunk. We're just going to close our eyes. And I only want you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If the first one was a little uncomfortable or a little challenging, do the same thing but keep your eyes open this time. So let's sit up nice and tall. You're going to close your eyes and begin. Rotate to one side, hold briefly, and then rotate to the other side. Working slowly through the motion. If you get dizzy at any time, please do open your eyes. Feel the weight shift again. How does it feel now that your eyes are closed versus when your eyes are open? Does it feel a little bit more challenging this time, even though we're doing the same thing? And bring it back to center and open your eyes. Okay, awesome job with that. Always just good, like I said, to work on the trunk mobility and just be able to turn our bodies when we need to. So now that we're done with that, I want you to grab your mini band. And I will say that this next part is probably the hardest part of the workout, and that is getting this mini band around your ankles. Take your time, do what you need to do. It might help if you can cross one leg over, or maybe you can bend down, but you're just going to bring one foot through and then the other foot through. And the goal is to get your band just above your ankle bones. So I'll give you just a minute to get that band in the good position. Again, like I said, it seems easy, but usually our feet get caught in the band and it just is kind of a struggle. So if you're struggling, don't worry, you are not alone. It's my job to make it look easy. So as you're getting your band on, I'll explain what's coming next. This band is going to help strengthen our hips. So even though we're in a seated position, you will likely still be feeling these next two exercises in your hips. What we're going to do first is you're still going to be sitting up nice and tall. Your hands are just kind of relaxed or maybe kind of in front of your chest. We're going to work one leg at a time, starting with the right leg. You're just going to tap out to the side, tap back to center, out to the side, back to center. So we're going to do this on 12 reps on each side, sitting up nice and tall, which is going to also activate those core muscles while we're working the hips and the leg. And you don't have to go out. I don't want you to come out so your knee is in and you're trying to just get far. I want your knees to stay in line with your toes as you tap. So let's get in position here, sitting up nice and tall, and let's tap with that right leg. So out and in. You're picking up your foot each time you tap. You're in control. You're not letting that band pull you in. And if this feels challenging, you don't have to go out as far. Don't forget to breathe again. Let's go for 2 more on this side. Last one. Okay, you should have been feeling that right up here on that right side. Now we're doing the same thing on the left. So sitting up nice and tall, let's begin. Tap out and tap in. Barely tapping down, but you are picking up your foot with each tap. Check in on that knee, make sure it's in line with your foot. Give me 2 more on that left side. And relax. You can kind of shake out those legs if you need to. I told you, you're gonna be working those hips. Who would have thought you put a band around your ankles, you're sitting and moving your legs out, and you feel it in your hips. Kind of crazy, but it's very important to strengthen these hips for helping knee pain, hip pain, low back pain, and just also helping us move throughout our days. So these muscles are very important to work. Okay, we're doing a similar concept for this next exercise, but now you're sitting up tall. You're going to tap forward and come back to center. So you're just tapping down with your toe each time. Going to stay on the right foot first, and then we'll bring it to the left leg. Okay, so you do want a little bit of tension in the band to make it a little bit more challenging. So I have my feet about hip width apart, and then as I move, there's tension in the band the entire time, which makes it more challenging that way. So let's go ahead and begin tapping just with the right foot, picking up the foot between each tap. You should still feel this in the hips, but it'll probably just feel a little bit different. Same thing as last time. If it's too challenging, you don't have to reach out as far. Give me one more. And relax. Shake it out real quick if you need to, and then let's take it to the left side. Same thing. Here we go. Gentle taps. Picking up your foot. You're not dragging. Don't worry, we're almost done with these band exercises for the day. Give me one more. And relax. Okay, now the other fun part after you put the band on is getting the band off. So go ahead and take the band off from your ankles. And now we're moving on to some standing exercises. So these are going to be incorporating movement and balance, a little bit of coordination, all that fun stuff. So what I'd recommend is getting behind your chair so you have it for support, and give yourself a little bit of room to move around here. You can also go next to a wall if you have a counter or a wall, anything like that to hold on to, as we're going to be doing some walking movements with balance too. But to start with, we're going to warm up that brain, make sure that's working okay. And so what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to the chair with your left hand, and we're going to be working our right leg. So what you're going to do, balance on the left leg. You're going to tap forward, come up, center, come up, and then you're actually going to open up your hips and tap back at a 45-degree angle. So that's when holding onto the chair is useful, because this opening up of the hips is usually the most challenging part of this, because we don't work in that plane a lot for movement. Okay, so let's try it. Here we go. Forward, center, side, center, open up those hips, tap back at that 45-degree angle. You're standing nice and tall the whole time while doing this. Trying to look straight ahead. Looking down occasionally is okay. This is also going to work those hip muscles that we were just working. You'll probably feel it on the left leg, even though we're working the right leg. Give me one more. And stop. Okay, awesome job. Now, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I want you to hold on to the chair or your counter, the wall, anything you have to hold on to with the right arm. We're gonna work the left leg, same idea. So let's go ahead and begin. Tap forward, side, open up, 45-degree angle. If you can, whenever you bring your foot to the center, try not to touch the floor. You're not shifting your weight as you tap either. It's just tap, up, side tap, up, open up, tap back. One more time on this side. And relax. Okay, shake it out if you need to. Hopefully that felt good. Hopefully it challenged you a little. If you felt your ankles kind of wobbling a little bit, that's okay. That means our balance is working, and that's what we're going for. So this next one is actually going to be some marching, and we're going to do some head turns while we do it, playing again with kind of our inner ear to make the balance aspect a little bit more challenging. So what we're going to do first is an 8-count marching, turning our head. So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you'll come back to center for 8 and to the left for 8. You march at your own pace, But when you turn your head, it's only your head. You're not turning your full body. I want your shoulders to stay the direction they're facing now. Okay, so stand up nice and tall, and let's begin. 8 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other side. Back to center. One more time through on both sides. Other side. Looking straight ahead. Back to center. Other side last time. And center. Okay. Hopefully you got the hang of that, because now we're going to make it just a little bit more challenging by doing a 4 count march. So exact same thing we were just doing, but it's just going to be a little bit quicker with those head turns. And I want you to make sure you feel comfortable, so if you need to hold on, your chair is there for you. Otherwise, you're just marching and turning that head for 4 counts this time. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn. 2, 3, 4. Center. Other side. And center. Other side. Back to center. Other side. And center. And stop. Goes a lot faster when it's only a 4 count. Okay, awesome job with that one. Hopefully that felt okay. It might have felt a little weird because we are playing around with that inner ear while you go through that exercise. But that's the whole point of it. Again, if you're walking and someone says something to you from over here, it's nice to be able to continue walking, say hi to them, and keep walking and feel comfortable doing that. So this next one, you may want to give yourself some room to be able to take a few big steps, because what we're going to do next, again, if you have a counter or a wall, that's ideal. You're just going to take a couple of big steps, picking up the feet. What I want you to do is when you step, you're actually shifting your weight forward on this leg before you take a step with the other leg. So depending on how much room you have, maybe you're like me and you can take a couple of steps, or maybe you have a lot of room and you can take 4 or 5 steps, and then you'll turn around and do the same thing. So go ahead and get in your starting position, standing up tall, and let's begin. So big step, pick up that foot, lean forward, other side, lean forward. Okay, just keep working through that. I challenge you to look straight ahead rather than down at your feet. Big step, lean forward. That makes our weight come forward rather than leaning back as we step, which we don't want to have that feeling of leaning back, because that's when you may feel like you're going to fall, which is not ideal. Good, and get back to your starting position. That's just a little bit, that's a good exercise to work on. If you're walking around your house, you can take big steps. If you have a hallway or anything like that, it's just good because it practices balancing on one leg for longer periods of time, which then makes walking easier. Okay, next up, we're going to be balancing on one leg, and all you're going to do is balancing here. You're going to tap forward and tap back. Back and forth as we balance on one leg, holding on if you need to. Okay, so stand up nice and tall, and let's begin. Tap forward and back, trying to look straight ahead the entire time, barely tapping down, not shifting your weight or anything like that. You'll probably notice that again, I'm working my right leg, standing on my left leg, and I'm feeling the strengthening of my left hip, which is good. And stop. Okay, again, shake it out if you need to. Now taking it to the other side. So get your balance on that one leg, and let's begin. Tap forward and back. We got one more balance exercise after this, and then we'll do a few stretches to cool it down. If you are holding on, that's perfectly okay. Just try to maybe hold on with only a couple of fingers. That way your body's doing most of the work, but those fingers are just helping you for some support. And stop. Okay, shake it out if you need to. Last balance exercise we're going to do, what I like to call walking the line. So you're going to put one foot in front of the other, and then step forward with the other foot. So again, go back to your space where you have a little bit of room to move, but ideally you want something to be able to hold on to the whole time because this is a little bit more of a challenging exercise. You're going to put one foot in front of the other, again leaning forward before bringing that other foot forward, shifting the weight forward, and going heel to toe. Once you get to the end of your space, turn around and do the same thing. So let's work through that. Go ahead and get in your position and let's begin. Take your time on this. It may feel kind of challenging. Hold on as much or as little as you feel you need to. You're picking up your feet just so they're not dragging on the floor. Shifting that weight forward should help keep your balance. You're looking straight ahead. You've got that chest up. Maybe you're pulling your belly button towards your spine a little bit. That will help activate your core and help with balance as well. And bring it back to your starting position. Again, that's another exercise. If you have a long hallway or a kitchen counter, anything like that, you can always practice that exercise. It's just a good one, kind of fun. In the words of Johnny Cash, we're walking the line. You know, just having fun with it, but also helping improve our balance. Awesome job with our exercises today. Like I said, now all we have left is a few stretches, and then we'll be done. So let's start out stretching out our legs a little bit. So I want you to have your chair on the left side of you. We're going to bring the right leg behind the left leg with the weight mostly on the right leg. Push your hips out to the right, bring your right arm up and reach over to the left. Get a nice stretch along the outside of the right leg, the right hips, kind of that area that we worked a good amount on today. Make sure when you're holding onto your chair that your shoulders relaxed on that left side. Okay, now take it to the other side. So now the chair is on your right side. Your left leg comes behind your right leg. Weight's mostly on the left leg. Stick your hips out to the left. Reach that left arm over towards the right. Back to center. Now let's stretch out our calves a little since we worked them as well. Just bring one leg back, pressing that back heel into the floor. Your chest is out, shoulders down and back. Just feel that good stretch in the calf muscle of the leg that's back. And bring the other leg back now, switch sides. Same thing, shoulders are relaxed, chest is out, and you're looking straight ahead. Enjoying how good this stretch feels. And relax. Okay, go ahead and have a seat in your chair. We're just going to finish off with a few seated stretches, starting out with our hamstring stretch. So bring the right leg out, hands are on your left leg, sitting up nice and tall, and just lean forward. Get a good stretch in the right leg, in the back of it, maybe a hamstring, or definitely in the hamstring, maybe behind the knee, and maybe even into that calf muscle as well. Let's take it to the other side. Left leg out, hands on your right leg, and lean forward. Just enough until you feel a good stretch. Shouldn't be painful, just a gentle stretch. Go ahead and sit up. You can sit back in your chair. We're just going to roll those shoulders back a couple of times and then keep the shoulders down and back. Bring one ear to your shoulder, keeping the shoulders nice and square rather than leaning. Feel a nice stretch on the side of your neck here. Bring it to the other side. Keep those shoulders relaxed. You're bringing your ear to your shoulder, not your shoulder to your ear. Bring it back to center. Tuck your chin to your chest. Roll your head side to side in the front of your body. Good, and bring it back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Relax your hands and your arms, and we're just going to finish off with a couple of deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And relax. Okay, great job today. Thanks for joining me. We made it through week 2. Can't wait to see you next time. Have a great day.